in news and in the answers, do you find constructive criticism helping the aspirant, or it will go against him? What is your take on this?
So, constructive criticism can be there, like what all is going wrong with WHO, we can list in the answer. But what is important, as ma'am also pointed out very nicely, like we need to have a way forward which is balanced. We can list that like in a positive manner, like what all can be done, and suggestions can be given. That way the answer looks balanced and the examiner gets an idea that we are not just focusing on the single side, because there are two sides to many sides, in fact, to each and every question. So that way we can answer.
Yeah, I think very
actually progressive. Everything, all answers should be such that we are showing that we are progressive.
So yes, definitely. Yes. UPSC is seeking, I think, yes, solution-oriented bureaucrats, not problem identifying bureaucrats.
Yes.
So the paper 3, which is very, I think, dynamic also and very scoring also. People are having a lot of laurels in paper 3. So unfortunately, marks are not yet out. I think more 10 to 12 days are there. Otherwise, there would have been much more clarity. Yes. But I must ask one thing, that in paper 3, there is one document or one report which you must all have to read. That is the Economic Survey of India. But it is a grand booklet. Sometimes it is one, sometimes it is 2, volume 1 and volume 2. So how do you take out something relevant which you can use in your answers in paper 3? In the Economic Survey of India, because ultimately it is the government data and it is the genuine data rather than any other paper report or something like that. So I want to ask how you utilize, Sanjita and Muskan, the Economic Survey of India.
Personally, I really love reading Economic Survey. I have a very special liking towards it because it is a very detailed book, and many things are given in a very detailed manner. So I always follow Economic Survey, and I read a chapter and I make 1-page note out of it. So that all the main points, like I remember the 2017 Economic Survey, 2018-19 Economic Survey, which I had read. There were very specifically, it had mentioned that the meta problems India is facing is agriculture, youth and education. If I'm not employment, agriculture and education, if I'm right. So these are very opening lines. Economic Survey, I find many opening lines which can be used in your answers. That helps me a lot. Economic Survey part 2 is more about facts and figures. So I usually read the first chapter and do not go beyond. Economic Survey part 1 is something I usually read the complete one, because you get many points to add. So it's important.
What do you think on this, Muskan? Economic Survey of India's relevance in your paper 3?
It is important. Like there are many things which can be used in our answer writing from Economic Survey. So for Economic Survey, what I did was I used to refer these debates on Rajya Sabha TV related to the survey and budget also. And Yojana special edition they release about the Economic Survey, and in which the summary is covered very nicely. So I did not read the survey totally. I would refer to the summaries. Yes.
So these days we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic, and as you all know that government has used Disaster Management Act 2005 and Epidemic Diseases Act. So because this is a part of paper 3, so what is your suggestion to the future aspirants, like if such thing happens? So what they need to read out of the National Disaster Management Act or the Epidemic Diseases Act?
I haven't read the complete act. It's so vast, and there's very detailed acts for flood, cyclone. There are very specific parts. The National Disaster Management Plan has this for every. So whenever I used to prepare for any specific phenomenon, so like urban flooding, there was a problem of urban flooding last year. So there, in National Disaster Management Plan, there was a specific guidelines how to manage that. So whenever any issues used to come, so then I used to refer the crisp notes which is available online to go for that. And Epidemic Disease Act is a very small act with 4 points, so that can be read. So it depends. When it's a very big act, you can extract the points which is already available online, relevant to whatever is happening. Like urban flooding is a recurrent phenomenon, drought is a repeated phenomenon, so you can use those parts. So I think it's relevant, very relevant.